Hi, I'm Mihata, and this is my Barbarian Rainbow. The Rainbow Barbarian, where I used one skill tree per difficulty, is the most fun I've had with Diablo. The Chaos Sanctuary in Hell difficulty was a masterpiece. I can't wait to share with you how it went, so I hope you stay with me until the end to see this journey. So, for normal, my plan was to use Combat Masteries and focus mainly on the Throw Mastery. When I got to level 6 and above, I switched to Throwing Axes. Basically until the end of normal, I was a Throw Barbarian without double throw. Something else I changed for this run is I tried to speed it up. So instead of going back to town and getting magic find potions and trying to swap gear, I was just trying to kill the bosses mostly on layers 1 and just move forward. Throwing Mastery really started shining in narrow places like the Maggot Lair, where monsters align one after the other, and when I throw an axe, it just pierces through a few of them and applies more damage. The downside of my rainbow approach was that places like Arcane Sanctuary, that are usually pretty quick and pretty easy for the Barbarian, were, like any other character, a bit of a torture, but that was the plan. I got a pretty nice imbue on this balanced axe. It rolled ED max damage and attack rating. So with my new axe, I had a fight with Duriel. You can see my damage. So I was able to take Duriel down pretty quickly. One of the biggest changes in BTDiablo is attack rating. Melee characters have more attack rating, and the other big change is improved damage on all weapons. Next on the menu was Mephisto, another rather quick kill without much hassle and without any interesting loot. Just to show very quickly my skill tree in Act 4, Throwing Mastery to the max, and my resistance and my damage. Hellforge gave only an Eld rune, but pretty helpful Perfect Ruby and Flawless Ruby that I was able to use for crafting. I started the Diablo fight with a Barbered Club, so I can apply more Crushing Blow from my gloves. I had a 9 or 8% Crushing Blow gloves, so throwing with those gloves and trying to apply Crushing Blow would have been really painful. And when the life total of Diablo was lower enough, I switched to throwing and finished him as well. While I was looking at the throwing weapons just before the throne room, I found these throwing spears with amplified damage. In BTDiablo, amplified damage has this affix with 20% level 22, which was really helpful. You can see how quickly I can run away from the minions of destruction while they have amplified damage cast on them. And final boss in normal difficulty, Bale. I was able to clear normal difficulty in 4 hours and 38 minutes, which was a nice result. The first time I tried to beat the game quickly instead of having fun and just enjoying the content. When I finished Act 5, I was ready to switch to the next skill tree, to Warcries, and move into Nightmare. So basically I got 20 FCR ones with my stealth armor and 10% FCR ring. I started with 75% faster cast rate, and my helm provided me 1 point to increased speed. I wasn't sure about using a helm that provides points to a passive skill, so I asked my community whether that's acceptable on a rainbow run, and 3 out of the 4 voters suggested it is fine. My first caster wand that I crafted rollout 30 to FCR. Unfortunately, it required level 58, which was way above what I was at the moment, and I did not get to use this one, unfortunately. This is how my nightmare run started. I started with S3 as I was rather low level and my Warcry was still low, and I had even forgotten to buff myself with battle orders before this fight. I created my first Spirit Sword, which in BTDiablo is called Soul, by downgrading the required runes. And in BTDiablo, Spirit rolls 30 FCR always, and 1 skills to a class. So in my case it rolled 1 to Paladin skills, but the 100 mana that it provided was really nice buff and provide a lot of sustainability. So you can see me clearing Tower Players 8 pretty quickly. And this is a bit further. Players 8 in the jail. The dark ones just melt with my Warcries. For the Undial fight, I decided to drink a Magic Find potion. I used Warcry mainly on players 1, so it took a while, but I was able to take her down. At this point I was over level, I was like level 58 or 55 something, and I had a lot of gold, and I was regularly using Magic Find potions when I clear the regular content. This plated belt that Undial dropped was really nice, and I used it almost until the end. In Act 2 I rolled an insight and changed my mercenary. It rolled 14 meditation aura, which was nice, another improvement of my sustainability. And then I rolled my second Spirit Sword. This time it rolled 1 to Sorcerer's skill, but again another 100 mana was really what I needed. Until I got to Duriel, I found a Crush Flange, which provides 33 or 35 crushing blow, and I used it with normal attack to lower the health of the boss and improve my clear speed. Act 3 is my favorite place with Singer Barbarian. The jungle where all the monsters come toward me and try to surround me is just a dream come true. Then I moved to Travincal, Layers 8, Nightmare Travincal with Singer Barbarian. Just breeze. The council members are stunned, they just chill, and I just clear the content and move forward. You can see me, I have another Magic Find potion, so I see mostly magic items and a few rares here and there. With a Rhyme Shield and my Crush Flange, Mephisto was way easier than Duriel, because he did not slow me as Duriel did. Something I did differently on this playthrough was that I streamed a couple of times during the weekend. So next is a couple of clips from my streams where I try to explain while playing. I hope you enjoyed these clips, and I'll be right back. So what's the deal? Let me briefly show what's going on here. So I have a barbarian that is called Rainbow. So I'm a Singer Barbarian at this point. I use Grimward with some points, a lot of points into Find Potion, and that is a pretty good combo. Lamb room, please. No glow to the sky, so it's not a lamb room, just a shell. Okay, the crushing blow is doing pretty nice. I cannot complain about. Okay. Oh, 3 battle orders. 2 lightning skills. Lightning absorb. Extra gold from monsters.
I'll put that to good use.
This looks like my new mercenary armor. So how did you find my streaming skill? I think that it needs some improvement. Nightmare Ancients were another decent fights, everything stunned, everything pretty cool. I would have been able to beat the Barbarian of the Ancients on higher player count, but that was irrelevant. And we get to the throne room where I clear all the Bale waves on player's 8. Once again, just stunning, my damage is decent, my survivability is to the roof. I have almost 3k life. I had low resists, but I did not care with that much life. I was just able to tank almost anything the mobs could throw at me on player's 8. When I played the Nightmare part, I intentionally cleared a lot of content. I played rather slowly. You can see I finished for 3.5 hours normal, and then I played. It took me another several hours to get to Nightmare Bale, but I was trying to level above 75. I was worried that I won't be able to move forward in Hell if I am not above level 75 and if I have low resists. So that's what made me wait so long and spend so much time in Nightmare. In the end, I think I could have managed it even with less time spent in Nightmare difficulty. I tried farming cows and acts 4 and 5 for a lemon so I can make myself a treachery and solve my resist problems in Hell, because in Hell I was combat skills barbarian, so no access to natural resistance for me. Unfortunately, the first part of my Hell playthrough has some problems with the recording, so I will just be showing some screenshots that are available from my recording software. So I started at just below 15 hours. 30 minutes later I was fighting already with Andariel. I don't remember any significant drops. What I remember is that I have a new favorite skill. I'll tell you about it a bit later. So I defeated Andariel and I moved into Act 2. Even the usual bottleneck for my playthroughs, Maggot Lair, was something I was able to finish rather quickly. I had decent map there. And now when I was able to use Leap and Leap Attack, the Arcane Sanctuary was just a breeze. Nothing compared to the normal and Nightmare runs there. So I got to Duriel, another decent fight with the Crush Flange and the Rhyme Shield, and I was able to clear Act 1 and Act 2 in about an hour, which is another impressive from speed point of view achievement for myself. And I'm back with the properly recorded footage at Travincal in Hell difficulty, where I am using my mercenary to apply damage, and I'm just stunning and stun locking the council members. I was able to clear the council members in about 5 minutes, and I headed forward to fight Mephisto. The Mephisto fight went well, unfortunately nothing too interesting from the loot. And we get to Act 4 and the Chaos Sanctuary. This is the most fun I've had in Diablo. This 15, 20, 30 minutes that I spent in Chaos Sanctuary were the best time. As you can see, I'm not killing anything. I'm just trying to move forward and go to the seal bosses and kill only those. Once again, using the previous strategy, where I just try to push away the monsters to stun lock them and use my mercenary as a weapon so he can kill Lord the Seas. It took several attempts. It was far from smooth sailing. I had problems with pointing the mercenary at the right direction. He was moving away, he was dying from the other mobs, so I had to go back to town and revive him several times. But at the end I was able to beat Lord the Seas, and I moved forward. Then I moved to Grand Vizier, which was another pretty decent and pretty intensive fight with Fanatism aura, a lot of monsters. You can see the density around. So the strategy was the same. I was trying to push the Grand Vizier in one of the corners, go get the mercenary and wait for my mercenary to kill the seal boss so I can get to the final one, the Infector of Souls. And this is the best, the creme de la creme. So you can see I died while trying to fight Infector of Souls, and I had no town portal. So I had to go back to Chaos Sanctuary without any gear, while there's an insane density with Fanatism aura, and I had to take my body to survive with just 1600 life, because I have no battle orders, no natural resistance, almost minus 100 all resists, and I was able to isolate Infector of Souls and wait for my mercenary to clear the seal boss. Hell Diablo dropped me a 35 all-res Tiamat's Rebuke. Unfortunately, it cannot be... Rhyme's shield cannot be frozen, so I had to give it to Jamala. In Act 5 I had another close call where I was not able to jump because of the tree that blocked me the way, so I had to save and exit. I played a bit on the slot machine with the Ancients until I got the desired combination without any lethal auras, and I was able to clear the Ancients from the first real attempt. The fight with Talik usually is the most difficult, and I was trying to run away from his whirlwinds. He takes almost 3/4 of my health total. Again, I was stun locking the Bale waves and waiting for my mercenary to clear the mobs. when I got to wave 5, I just pulled them from the chamber and teleported back in, cleared any left minion of distractions, and headed into the World Stone Chamber. This time I did not even bother to take a Magic Find potion. I was just trying to finish, and I did for 18 hours and just below 20 minutes, which is another personal best time for beating BTDiablo as a Rainbow Barbarian. So take a look at my gear and my skills for hell difficulty. And so this is the final of my Rainbow Barbarian level 77. Now my hell difficulty was with combat skills, and I used mostly leap attack. My new favorite skill is bash, because in BTDiablo it always hits. It adds a bit more damage, and it is pretty quick and knocks back the enemy. I have 1 point or a couple of points in increased speed by my helmet. I didn't want to push it too far to search for item and to use a helmet that provides natural resistance as well, or some of the weapon masteries. And 2 points in Warcries that I have not used in my hell difficulty. As you can see, they have no shortcuts applied. The hell gear. I have a crush flange that provides a lot of my fire resist, and with it my resists are pretty nice. Crushing blow gloves with resists ground for lightning resistant lightning absorb. It is the helm that provides 2 increased speed. Hustle, a very good choice. The fast run walk was really handy, and I was able to run around the mobs. The belt, a bit life, a bit faster hit recovery, a bit of fire resist, faster run walk and lightning resist, rhyme shield, and rings that provide again resists. A really nice amulet. I found this one late nightmare. It provides everything a Diablo 2 character needs. And for hell difficulty, my charms were mostly life resist, even not much resist. These are my resist charms. And I have this one that I gambled, another really nice, and these are the majority. These are all my charms. And a few more things that I forgot to mention to show in the World Stone Chamber. On swap, I have a hustle in Trenchon. This is the first time I use hustle, and I'm really happy with it. The burst of speed was irreplaceable. The fanaticism aura was another great improvement, and when I was not reliant on the fire resist for the crush flange, it was really handy for me and my mercenary. And my mercenary himself. Honor in an ethereal Ogre Axe. In BTDiablo, Ogre Axes can have up to 5 sockets. Crown of Thieves that I found on one of my streams. Sparkling Mail you saw dropping from Nightmare Diablo. Thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know in the comments what other challenging run would you like to see on my channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.